One more time, please.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. You're watching Adventure GT. I'm here with Rob and his 2021 Diesel Jeep something. It's
2021 JLU EcoDiesel.
EcoDiesel. You know what? Maybe we'll just leave it at that.
Works for me. Hi, I'm Rob, and I'm here with my 2021 JLU EcoDiesel. We named her Stingray. It's actually the color of it is Stingray, and we named it Stingray. But yeah, we love this. It's an EcoDiesel. The reason we bought the diesel, we were looking for a new Jeep because we had a two-door, and we wanted something for our grandkids to be able to go with us more. And we went to the dealership, and they said, "Hey, we've got this diesel in the lot." And I thought, well, why not? I'll drive it. So I took it about 2 blocks and turned around and went back to the dealership, and the salesman was like, "Something wrong?" I said, "No, I want to buy it."
That's all it took?
Yeah, it shifts so smoothly. It's a very low RPM, and it's such a comfort to drive. And I could tell that the torque was immediately there. And we have a 6x12 cargo trailer that I converted into a camper that we named as TrailerCon. And we pulled out with this, and so we were looking for something that had a little more power because we took the trailer out to South Dakota, and we had like 20-mile-an-hour headwinds, and I could get maybe 55 miles an hour out of it. With this diesel, I can run down the road 70 miles an hour. It doesn't even bother it. So when we bought the Jeep, I think we had it like 2 days. It had stock highway tires on it, but we traded our 2014 into the dealership. We had just put brand new tires on that 2014, so I said, "I'll tell you what, we've got to swap wheels." So we did. So these wheels are actually off a 2014 Rubicon. And the reason that I had them to switch it is because we had the Milestar Patagonia MTs on them. And I originally bought them because they were kind of on the lower end of my budget, and you know, they were budget friendly, I should say. But we took the 2014 out to Rock Hill, South Dakota, and I was just immensely impressed with the capabilities of these tires. And so I wanted to make sure I stuck with those tires when we got this new one. On the way back, we drove mostly 2-lane highways, and I got 36 miles to the gallon out of this diesel.
On mud-frame tires.
I was smiling ear to ear. I'd never done that in a Jeep before, you know, big square box. And so these tires are actually 35, 1250, 17s. And we did have 33, 11.2. They were kind of a metric. I forget the actual size. I had 285 or 285, 75, 17 originally. And when I went to the 35, it's been night and day difference in how this vehicle handles the bumps and everything. So we're really happy with that. But 35s, I think, really look good on a JLU. 37 look better, but 35 is that sweet spot. We put a, I forget the name of Red Cat front bumper on. It is a stubby, the off-road stubby version. It's got a bull bar on it, and we put a rough country 90 500-pound winch on it. I've also got some off-road lights I put up on the pillars here. These were, think rough country again. We've got a CB antenna. I put different door hinges on the back, put the CB antenna mount on the back. That was really before I found out that everybody doesn't use CB anymore, but it's now my paper towel holder, as I joke with my wife. When I have the back door open, I'll stick a roll of paper towel over it. But also added a, I think it's a 22-inch nightlight. Spotlight with the spot and flood on the front of the bull bar. That thing worked excellent. I don't even use the ones up on the A-pillar. If I would have known about how much glare you get off of those, I would have never put them up there. They are intended to be forced outwards to the side more. So I need to turn them a little bit more than they are, but we're still happy to have them. And as far as the lift, I went with a 2.5-inch spacer lift on this, and a lot of people shy away from the spacer lifts. They don't think they're quite as good as, you know, a spring lift. I do lose probably about 1.5 inches to travel, But if you're worried about an inch and a half of travel, you're probably in the wrong place on the trail. This is my take on it. I think in May, we're headed down to the Kentucky Adventure Trail. And so that involves overlanding. And so for the overlanding things that I have on the Jeep, I've got a 12-volt fridge in the rear. It's on a slide, so I can pull it out. I've got the must-have for a Jeep, and that's a door table on the rear door. We've got a lot of different types of cooking equipment. I build rocket stoves, so I've got one of them we'll take a look at later on, where you can use any wood that you can find in fuel. It's really hard in where we live to go out and be away from everything else for days at a time. Even when you go to Black Hills, I mean, there's not a lot of trails that are longer than 10 or 12 miles, So what we do a lot of times is if we have a weekend, we'll go out exploring, and there's a lot of beautiful country right out your back door if you just get on the back roads and just take a drive. And so what we'll use is we'll use our overlanding stuff. We'll stop and we'll get the fridge out, and we'll open up the back and set up the grill and cook something and just enjoy the outdoors and nature. And so for electronics on the inside, I've got a 10-inch tablet. That's where I get most of my trail apps on. And I use both Onyx, and I also use Advenza Maps. And so I have that mounted on a mount off of the grab handle. We've also got a camera mount and phone mount up on the dash. I keep a forward-facing GoPro type camera there all the time. And then my phone, of course, is next to it. On my phone, I used on the Onyx app only. It's an iPhone, it's a little bit faster with the Onyx. But we've also got a charging station in the center console there, so I can keep all of my battery equipment. I've got drones, I've got other type of cameras and stuff, and we keep all that charged up.
What are your future mods and future plans? What's next for Stingray?
Well, we're going to be very soon adding a roof rack. And today, on the way down here, I was fortunate enough to fall into a couple of really sweet deals on some awnings. So we're definitely going to be adding an awning to it. The 270 awning I'm going to try to put on here so that when we're just out urban adventuring, we can use it on rainy days and be able to cook out of the back. So that's one of probably the closest mod that we'll be doing. As far as suspension and everything, it's going to be a little while before I do anything. I've really been impressed the capabilities of what I've got right now, and it's really no need. Possibly doing a locker on the front, but again, I've never been stuck yet. So I'm not afraid to use the winch. If I get stuck, I'd rather use a $350 winch and to put $2,000 in a locker and have it, take a toll on other parts like axles and so forth. So for right now, I think the suspension's pretty much done. Someday we might step up to 3.5 inches. I wouldn't mind get a little bit more clearance, because on these diesels, we have a few more things down underneath. In the back, we've got a def tank, a 6-gallon def tank that kind of hangs down where the muffler would normally hang. Also, there's a water filter separation unit underneath. And so overall, the Jeep sets a little bit lower underneath than I think what a regular gas version does. But that's about it. We're really happy with where it's at right now. I had wanted to build some type of storage in the rear, but this is the daily driver, and so I would have to be taking that in and out. And so for right now, we just use a couple storage boxes, and everything gets to stay in those boxes. And when I get home, I take it out, put it in the basement, ready for the next adventure.
All right, guys, that's going to be a wrap on this video. This is all about Rod and his 2021 Jeep. Do you have anything else to plug?
Yeah, hey, check us out at Backroad Adventures. We're just a group of about 834, I think, is what we're up to right now. We just like exploring the local back roads, and we do everything from, pavement runs to actual off-roading and long-distance trips. So check us out. Maybe we'll have something that you'd be interested in doing with it. A great group of people have, joined that group, and so check us out, Backroad Adventures on Facebook.
Rod's got his own Facebook, his own Instagram, and his own YouTube channel. So those are going to be linked down below in the description. Go ahead and check them out, guys. And I think that's going to be a wrap. Alrighty, we'll see you in the next one.
See ya.